So, for any regulars of the channel, you might know that I tend to upload videos a little bit later than they should be, but today I've decided to make a change, and in fact this video is early. Now it might not look like it to the average viewer, but I assure you, this video is actually
39,
days early and not
84.
days late. As you see, this is my Halloween video, so you know, I'm pretty early right now, so I don't want to see a single one of you complaining that this video is late. Anyway, I'm making Scarecrow, so let's go do that, I guess. So as usual, I'm going to start with the mask, and thankfully, this is another project that doesn't require any sanding, since I'm going to be covering it up with a mesh-like fabric. But I still have to paint it with a base coat of black. And then I'm going to paint some of the parts with a bit of gold, and just add a little bit of extra spice. I dry brushed a bunch of the edges with a lighter gold just to make it look that much better. Also, while we're at it, might as well finish off the extra parts, starting by adding some brown pleather to the edges of the gas filters. Then moving on to the lenses, I marked them out, then cut them out. And of course, to add a little bit of extra spice, I dirtied them up with some watered down black paint. With that all done, I can actually now start gluing on some of the fabric. Since the fabric I have has barely any stretch, my normal method of just making up a mask then gluing it down to the printed base won't work. So instead, I just cut the fabric up into smallish panels and glued it down, which worked pretty well, plus it adds to the makeshift aesthetic, so it's a win-win. Then to finish it off, I just dabbed on some watered down brown paint, which just adds some color variation. Okay, so now it's time for the rest of the suit. Like before, I'm just going to be using the same patterns that I've used for the past few projects, because, I mean, they just work with everything, so might as well. Now with all the pieces cut out, I can just pin them together, and now it's time for a little bit of sewing. So I've encountered a little bit of a problem. When making the arms, I accidentally made them too thin, so I can't actually lift them high enough off the arms to attach them to the torso, but that's okay because I've come up with a solution that doesn't involve just making new arms. So now, instead of basing my Scarecrow off of the one in Arkham Knight, I'm basing off the one in Arkham Asylum. So yeah, it's a pretty easy shift. All you have to do was cut up the shirt into this thing. Now all that's left to do is to sew on the hood, put on some boots and my pointy rings, and then make up some no-no ties, and boom! The suit is done. Look at that, it says Scarecrow.